Trading is closed on the 29th of June 2023. As always, we'll start with our disclaimer, go over our predictions, and then we'll make some calls. Please remember I have personal business. I'm going to continue to have it until further notice, and I just don't have as much time as I normally have to analyze things, and even if I have the time, my calls can be completely wrong, and any trade you make should be made at your own risk. Look for the pattern with the early low, which is this. Tomorrow should have the early high. We said if we get down smartly, it could be trouble. And we said if you're a bull, you needed early strength, ideally taking out this high early. Here's what we said. We said bulls need opening strength, ideally with a new recovery high early. We got the opening strength, the bulls got what they needed. We got a new recovery high, but it wasn't early. So although the bulls did what they had to do, it just wasn't the ideal situation. During the day, MEJT said ultimately higher prices would print, which they did. Said this drop was false, would retrace. Said this rally was false, would retrace. Said this rally would retrace, and this drop would retrace, and that's already played out. We rallied all day long, but closed under midday highs. If that's maintained at tomorrow's open, it should lead to a lower price printing. It's no guarantee that we close lower, though. It's also no guarantee that we're not going to take this out early, which is what you have to do if you're a bull. Well, we had this FOMC price as a dividing line between markets going up and markets going down. So ideally, if that was going to play out with the three-leg whipsaw we've discussed, this shouldn't have happened. You shouldn't be closing over this line. Now, it can always be invalidated. It can always gap down smartly, undercut these lows. But ideally, that shouldn't happen. So it's possible this three-leg whipsaw is not going to play out because that shouldn't really happen unless it gets invalidated early. We're still using this wave count without any assurance it's the right count, but we'll stick with it for now since that still remains alive. We've completed wave 1 and wave 2 by this count, and we're in wave 3. We've completed wave 1, and we're in wave 2, which should be an ABC. We have A, some point there should be a B, and then a C, ideally closing at one of these prices. The one price that's within the fourth wave of lesser degree is 42.7623. Now, I'm not confident of any count here, but if this late high, 43.9715, holds, if that holds, you get a direct hit. You get gold C equals gold A, 42.7676, just half a point away. Now, that doesn't mean it is going to hold. Doesn't mean it's the right idea. But if we do stop here, everything plays out. And that's why I'm not giving up on it. Now, of course, if we go much higher, that's not the right count. It's not the right idea. And that's always possible. I don't know how it'll open tomorrow. But this is one place at which balance of the waves exists if the idea is right. As again, I don't know if the idea is right, but it's a plausible idea. And if we can't clear this high, then it's an all-day rally, which couldn't clear the midday high, which means that the last few hours didn't really accomplish anything. So if you're a bull, you need to clear this early. Clear this high early to kill that idea. Well, tomorrow's pattern has the early high. We could gap down. If the three-leg Fed whipsaw is going to work, ideally we shouldn't have closed over the announcement price today. Things aren't always going to do what you want them to do. Bears need to reverse today's action promptly, and that's no luck. We rallied all day but closed under midday highs, and unless we gap and promptly overtake today's high, we should see lower prices, but that doesn't assure a lower close. The wave count still argues for one more leg down before a big rally starts. And if today's high holds, there would be balance of the waves in the desired area. But that's no assurance the idea is right, and that's no assurance that's going to hold. But if it holds, that's a place to look. If we continue significantly higher tomorrow, I don't really have a great plan. Next week historically is a bullish week, and if tomorrow isn't a pullback day, the odds are against seeing the pullback next week, and there's no guarantees on this one, because this didn't play out the way I was thinking it would. So we have a chance for a pullback. If we do, we have a price in the mid 4270s, but there's no guarantee that's going to work. Just if it works, that's where I'd look. It's the pattern with the early high. Next week is typically a bullish week, so if we don't get the pullback tomorrow, and there's no assurance we will, the calendar is against it happening next week. Doesn't mean it won't. And that's today's call.